name is Andy, and this is the most magical podcast on earth. When I'm not on holiday at Walt Disney World, I'm planning a holiday to Disney. And when I'm not planning a holiday to Disney, I'm talking about Disney, with other UK fans like me who make the trip to Orlando and the House of the Mouse. So whether you're a parks professional or a Florida first-timer, this is the podcast for you. Each episode, I'll be chatting to other Disney superfans to share memories of their magical times, answering your Walt Disney World questions, getting you all the latest news from the parks, and finding out what's happening right now in Orlando. So get your ears on as we take you to the most magical place on earth. This is the most magical podcast on earth as part of the Secret Recordings Network. We'll catch up with Amy very soon. She's the guest for this episode of the podcast. We've got some of your questions to get through as well. If you do have any planning questions when it comes to having the best time in Walt Disney World, I'll try and do my best to answer. Do drop me a message, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, at PodMagical. Make sure you're giving us a like, give us a follow. You can DM me on there as well. Hello to Mike, who says, Andy, you're always saying that the food at Walt Disney World is more than just burgers, but I love burgers. So where's the best burger in Walt Disney World? Oh, good question. My initial answer would be Deluxe Burger over at Disney Springs. If you've not been to Disney Springs, do try and spend some time over at Disney Springs. I know it's hard when you paid for the park tickets, you just want to be in the parks all the time, but Disney Springs, at least half a day, there's some great food over there, including the best burger probably at Deluxe Burger. But also, I'm going to go for a tie on this. It's going to be a joint winner because it wasn't until my last trip that I discovered the Hollywood Brown Derby. Now, I always thought the Hollywood Brown Derby in Hollywood Studios was really expensive. But that's because I was always on the dining plan. Remember the dining plan? Remember when we used to get it for free, all those food credits? And some of the restaurants, they used to take 2 credits. Hollywood Brown Derby at Hollywood Studios was one of those restaurants that took 2 credits. So I always automatically thought, I'm not going there. It's really expensive. However, on the last trip, I did go there and I got the burger and it was about $28, I think. One of the best burgers I have ever had. You can either eat in the restaurant or you can walk up and get a table outside. If the weather's great, you can sit outside in the lounge. Hollywood Brown Derby, probably the best place to get a burger in Walt Disney World. If you have any questions or you'd like to be a podcast guest like Amy, who we're going to speak to in a sec, do get in touch. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course TikTok. We are at PodMagical. Time to catch up with another podcast guest, and she's recently come back from Walt Disney World just a few weeks ago. Hello, Amy.
Hello.
Got the Disney blues still?
Oh, yeah. So bad.
It takes a while, doesn't it? Or have you already started planning your next one?
Oh, yeah. I've been planning that one before I even went on this one.
All right, because sometimes I'll plan it as I'm walking around Walt Disney World going, okay, well, next time we come, we'll eat there. And you start making plans.
Yeah. Yeah, well, don't we say it's the best way to cure Disney blues is to plan the next trip?
Exactly. It's the only way to get around it. So why do you love Walt Disney World? What is it that you love about the most magical place on earth?
It's got to be that bubble. It's completely its own world. And you really can just forget about everything that's going on in the outside world.
And when was the first time you went?
It was 2006, so I was 10 years old, and it was meant to be this once-in-a-lifetime, no expensive trip. It's my mum's 40th, so that's why we went. My mum's a massive Disney fan, so that was the plan. And then, we've kind of been back pretty much every year since.
I think everybody on this podcast, the first time they went it's a once in a lifetime, and then they've been back. Well, you don't even know how many times you've been back, do you?
No, I do need to sit and work it out, but I can't. It's a lot.
It's that many. So many when you've lost count. It doesn't really matter, does it? So have you got a particular favourite memory from the times that you've been?
See, I find this really hard to answer because I feel like every single trip is filled with such special memories, and every trip is special for its own reason. But I have to say that going back this time in February, seeing my mum see Mickey Mouse for the first time in so long was just incredible because, we've been deprived for what feels like forever.
Yeah.
And, points in those 2 years where we thought, will we ever get back? So to just be there and see the happiness on other people's faces was just incredible.
What was the first thing you did when you went back then the other week?
Against our tradition, we went to Epcot because it was the last 2 days of Festival of the Arts.
Right, yeah.
And we've never ever done that before. So we're like, I need to squeeze that in. So usually tradition is Magic Kingdom, obviously, seeing the castle. But I didn't want to miss out on Festival of the Arts. So yeah, we went to Epcot and did that.
And what did you think of Festival of the Arts?
I loved it. You know, I would love to be there and be able to go back a few more times during my trip. We got like the last 2 days. So I do feel like I kind of didn't explore it as much as I wanted to. But it was amazing. And like the food was incredible and just seeing loads of artists. And obviously Disney on Broadway was amazing.
So did you get to do the overlap? Because Festival of the Arts had just finished. Were you there for the beginning of Flower and Garden, or did that start just after you'd come home?
So that started just after I come home. So that's the last festival I need to do. I've never done that one.
But I'm guessing you would have seen the topiaries because they put them out before the festival starts, don't they? So you probably would have seen a few of those.
Yes, yeah, we saw some of the topiaries, yeah.
All right, so at least you got a little bit of a fix of Flower and Garden, so that's not too bad.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, you know, people who've not been since before COVID hit and everything, things have changed a lot. There's no Magical Express, there's no free fast passes, that kind of thing. People always say, but is the magic still there? Having been back, what would you say to that?
1,000%. I think if you can go with the mindset of, yes, things have changed, but things have changed all over the world. Like the world is not the same place it was.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the magic is still 100% there.
And what about Genie Plus? Did you pay for that? Did you use that?
Yes, we did actually. So we went with the intention of, we'll just play it by ear, see what the crowds are like, see if we need it. And we did end up buying it almost every day. So it was a massive expense. If you forget you're paying for it, then it's amazing. But it is needed, unfortunately. And now, going forward for my next trip, we have added it onto our package as we can do here in the UK, because I do think it is worth it. It
is a lot cheaper if you had it on before, which is a bit of a UK perk. Yeah. Does it work out like £6 or £7 a day if you do it before?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think it's like $97 per person for 2 weeks.
So as long as you just breathe in and go, okay, we'll have to pay it. It's better than paying for it on the day.
Yeah, I think my opinion is Disney holidays are not cheap. Like, yes, you can do them as cheap as possible, but it isn't a budget holiday. So if you're willing to accept that you're going to have to pay a tiny little bit more to kind of increase that experience, then you just have to accept it. It's part of the expense now.
But you can do whatever within your own budget. You know, if you're on a bit of a tight budget and you can't afford to stay at Disney, you don't want to pay lining lanes, you can still have a good time. You can stay on an international drive and get in, and you can wait in lines. Last time we didn't use Genie Plus at all, apart from a couple of the individual ones, but we just got used to standing in line for an hour going, it's an hour. We're still going to get on everything. We just have to wait. It's just a little bit different.
One thing that we did find is you taking advantage of that early entry if you are staying on property.
Yes.
That was massively beneficial. Like we were getting on rides, in 10-20 minutes that throughout the day we're getting 2+ hour waits.
I found that as well, because people say, well, it's only half an hour. You're not going to get a lot done in half an hour. But what I found is getting in half an hour before that half an hour and going straight to something like Tower of Terror or Slinky Dog or Seven Dwarfs. If you can be at the front of the line, you can be on that within the first 10 minutes. You can then be in another queue for another attraction in that half an hour. Did you do that as well?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So we were trying to do the really popular rides, like the new Ratatouille ride and things like that. We were finding we were getting off that about 1:45. So we were doing really well and could get in the line for another thing before the park had even opened. So they were so beneficial for us, that half an hour. Like you say, it's only 30 minutes, but it does make such a difference.
So where did you stay last time?
I stayed at Coronado Springs for the first time.
Oh, how was that?
I loved it. Yeah, it wasn't, we didn't stay in Gran Destino Tower, although I wish. But it was amazing. Such a beautiful hotel, and location was great. I felt like everything was so close on the buses.
And how often were the buses? Do you have any bus issues?
We did have a few bus issues, especially our last weekend was Run Disney weekend, Princess weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And we found that there was a lot more bus issues then. We did wait, 45 minutes for a bus.
And did they, at Coronado Springs, how many stops are there when it goes around the resort?
There's 4 stops, so within the resort, yeah.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah, and again, when we were first going, we were thinking this could be a bit of a pain, having to go all the way around, and we were at stop 4. So we definitely thought we're going to be here forever, but it was fine. And even the walk from stop 1, which is at Grandestino Tower, through to where we were staying at near stop 4 was like not even a 10-minute walk. So you could walk it. Yeah. And get off whenever you want to.
Yeah. Just at the end of a park day, though, when your feet are tired, you think, just drop me off. Can you drive to the actual hotel room? That would be beneficial. Yeah. So do you have a particular favourite resort? Have you stayed at quite a few?
I have, but more when I was younger. So my favourite resort has to be the beach club, and I'm so lucky that I've managed to stay there quite a few times. Nothing will beat the beach club pool.
What's about the beach club pool?
Oh, it's huge, and the bottom of the pool is sand.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so it's like being at the beach, but without the salt water.
See, I love the beach club as well, but I love the fact that you can just walk into Epcot.
Oh, yeah, well, that is amazing as well. And you're kind of on the Skyliner. You've got the boats to Hollywood Studios.
But do you find, though, at Beach Club, you walk to Hollywood Studios? Because I thought it's a 15-minute walk, but I'd rather do that knowing I can be there in 15 minutes.
Yeah, because you can wait quite a while for the Skyliner or the boat, can't you? So, walking it makes it so much easier.
We got Amy on the podcast. We'll do a little bit of news and then we'll come back. We're going to find out your perfect 24 hours in Walt Disney World, Amy.
Sounds amazing.
We'll be back with Amy in just a moment. And also, at the end of this podcast, a warning about Walt Disney World buses that you need to know. Let's get a quick roundup of the news, first of all. 3 big things coming back, including the minivans. Now, I don't know the exact date of the return of minivans or the price that minivans are going to be, but they are coming back. Minivans are great. They are run by cast members. It's a rideshare service. It runs via the Lyft app. The great thing about the minivans, even though they're very expensive, it's the only one that will take you right up to the doors of Magic Kingdom. Or pick you up at the doors at Magic Kingdom if it's very late at night and you just can't walk any further. Also coming back is the Disney Cultural Representative Programme that is returning this summer. So if you've ever fancied working at Disney, maybe in the pub or in the UK pavilion, this may be your chance if you're within a certain age. But the cultural representatives will be coming back to Epcot very soon. And also the return of Hoop-de-Doo, which I have never seen. It is a fan favourite at Walt Disney World. It's the Hoop-de-Doo musical review. It comes back to the Fort Wilderness Resorts and Campground from June the 23rd. You can book your tickets. You can book your reservations from the 26th of May. There's music, there's comedy, and there's a lot of food as well. Fried chicken, smoked barbecue, and apparently the strawberry shortcake you get for dessert is amazing. And it's been, I think, nearly 50 years it's been going, the Hoop-de-Doo review, and it's very rarely changed. Other news, the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival is back. It's been announced July the 14th through till November the 19th. More food booths and more live music as well. The Eat to the Beat concert series is going to return. More details about who will be in that later on. And finally, character hugs are coming back. You might have seen the little teaser with Mickey Mouse removing the velvet rope and looking like he's wanting to hug from you. More details on the actual date very soon. At the time of this recording, we didn't know the actual date, but if you want to hug Mickey Mouse at Walt Disney World, I know it's already back in Paris, but character hugs are coming back. Don't forget you can keep up to date with all the news coming from Walt Disney World if you follow us on the socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. We are at Podmagical. Same place to go to be a podcast guest like Amy. So Amy's on the podcast. Let's talk about food. Are you a bit of a Disney foodie?
Oh, absolutely. Why else do we go?
Any particular favourite restaurant recommendations? Where should we be eating? What should we be eating?
So my friends and family will not be shocked to hear that I'm going to say Teppanydo in the Japan Pavilion in Epcot.
Right.
So, yes, the food is amazing and so tasty, but the whole experience is incredible. It's literally dinner and a show. Yeah, it's a Japanese teppanyaki, so it's a hot grill, and they cook whatever you've ordered in front of you. The chefs do all these amazing tricks, and you sit communal style, so you might sit with other families and things, but we've actually met friends through this and got chatting to people from all over the world doing this. So it's a really cool experience.
I love that. A lot of people, I think in this country, and in the UK, if you had to sit next to somebody on a table you didn't know, it'd be really awkward. But there's something about being at Disney World, and Americans are a bit more open and up for a chat. I love chatting to people, finding out where they're from and what they think of Disney World and their favourite attractions. There's so much to talk about, isn't there?
Yeah, and you know, straight away you've got something in common and you're in Disney World, so it's easy to spark up a conversation.
Totally. Any other places there we should be eating?
I was a bit of a sucker for quick service this time. I found some really tasty options. I'm pretty much vegetarian, so finding easy quick service was hard, but I did really enjoy eating at Docking Bay 7 in Galaxy's Edge.
Did you have the meatballs but not meatballs?
Yeah, like the falafel.
Yes,
quinoa.
They're really nice.
Yeah, so good. I love that.
Yeah, really nice. I thought there's quite a lot of options especially for plant-based diets. I thought pretty much everywhere has got something decent on the menu.
Yeah, and it is improving. You know, every time I go back, I notice there's a few more options. So that's really good.
Apart from Magic Kingdom, which I thought was a bit of a struggle, even though I'm not vegan, but I like to try different foods. I always found Magic Kingdom's a bit of a struggle. Unless you've got any good recommendations for Magic Kingdom?
Casey's do a great plant-based hot dog.
Oh, okay. All right. Casey's Corner. I've still not had a hot dog in Walt Disney World. Can you believe that?
Oh, wow. No.
It's an excuse to go back every time. I purposely don't go, so it's an excuse to come back. We haven't talked about your favourite attractions, Amy.
I'm an adrenaline junkie.
Right.
So anything fast, you know, rock and roller coaster, Tower of Terror. If it's a show, I'm a happily ever after fan and I'm still in mourning that it's gone.
Oh, okay. Let's talk fireworks, because a lot of people say, "Oh, once if you watched it on YouTube, the new one, Enchantment, it's actually not as bad. It's not as bad as you think." Enchantment or Happily Ever After? Now you've seen them both.
Happily Ever After. The thing I found with Enchantment, it was amazing, but I didn't know where to look.
To the sky, to the castle.
So much happening.
And I found as well, I watched it for the second time at the back of Main Street, and the sound doesn't carry as much. And when there's the talking narrative bit is in between, you kind of lose it and people think it's finished. It was really weird.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
We were kind of half down Main Street when we watched it.
Yeah, you need to be kind of like Casey's Corner or towards the front to really appreciate it, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
And what do you think about the Epcot fireworks?
I loved them. I'm a massive fan of Disney music and soundtracks, so it just spoke to me. I really, really enjoyed Harmonious. The only downside was there were quite a few areas where you couldn't get a good view. A restricted view, I suppose, I would say. You've
got to pick your spot, I suppose, haven't you?
Yeah, that's the only thing I found. You know, we kind of walked around World Showcase just saying, can we see from here? No, we can't see. Let's move again. Can we see? No. So we had to keep finding a spot. And once you've got your spot, you don't move.
Yeah, hold on to it. I watched it from the bridge between France and the UK. That's quite a nice spot. And I also watched it again from right in the middle, but that's only because it was tipping down and it was an hour late and everybody had gone home. But if you can watch it from the middle, that's pretty special.
Oh, yeah.
So, Harmonious or Illuminations, which is the best one?
Harmonious.
Yeah, we're on the same wavelength. I agree. It's very different. People are saying, "Oh, is it better?" But I'm like, well, it's different, but it's brilliant.
It is. It's less of a fireworks show, I'll say, and more of a visual show.
Yeah, definitely. But the fireworks at the very end are something quite special.
Yeah.
Totally. You say you're an adrenaline junkie. Do you venture out to any of the other parks outside Disney?
So, yeah, I do go to Universal. Didn't go this time, but I am heading back later on this year. So, excited to ride Velocicoaster.
Oh, yeah. So, why did you miss it this time? Just no time?
Just no time. We only went for a week and just wanted to be in that Disney bubble and not get out of it ever.
And even now, didn't want to be home. Didn't want to come home. So...
No.
What other parks do you venture out to if you're an adrenaline junkie?
So definitely go to Universal. I have been to SeaWorld in the past, although haven't been in a long time. And that's it, I think.
Yeah.
Haven't been further. You know, I do find it hard to leave Disney. I really do.
That's the thing, isn't it? There's so much to do, but you don't want to leave Disney. And I think a part of it for me is if you're staying on Disney and you've paid for a 14-day ticket, you're like, why should I go somewhere else?
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, if you paid for it, you want to get every single moment out of it.
Maybe Busch Gardens, though, next time, if you can get out there. That's good for the coasters.
Yeah, I've heard good things, so definitely on my bucket list.
So, Amy, your perfect day at Walt Disney World. What are you doing? Where are you waking up? Where are you ending the day?
Okay, so I'm definitely waking up at the beach club.
Yeah.
and I'm rope dropping Magic Kingdom, my favourite park. And I'm heading straight to Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger spin.
Really?
Yes, I love that ride, and I love getting there early so you can get just on and off and on and off. And I'm desperate to be a galactic hero, and it has never happened.
Yeah,
so
I don't know. Yeah, I can't do it either. I want the sticker.
Yeah, I was even Googling it this year, how to do it. Cheating,
I was Googling it in the queue, still couldn't get it.
Yeah, now I feel that. So I'm getting off Buzz Lightyear after a few goes. And I'm going to Gaston's Tavern for one of those cinnamon rolls.
Nice. With some extra icing on the side.
Yes, you know the way. You know the way.
AJ from Disney Food Blog, that's her top tip.
Yes, definitely. It's everyone now, I tell. Make sure you get extra icing. From there, I'm going to ride Big Thunder Mountain. Then on my way out, I'm meeting Mickey and catching the parade.
Okay. Right, so it's what, 3:30 now, yeah?
Yes, yeah. Well, they've got an earlier parade now, haven't they?
Okay, might be 12:30. Yeah, there's it's a 12 and 3.
Let's say 12:30, because I need all the time I can get.
Got more stuff to squeeze in.
Yes. And then I will park hop to Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
We're pretending that this 2 p.m. park hopping isn't a thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's annoying. But yeah, we'll pretend that's not a thing.
So I'm going to Hollywood Studios, riding Tower of Terror and then Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yeah, get that adrenaline fix.
Back to back. And then lunch at Docking Bay 7, obviously.
Yeah.
And if time was no option, I would go over to Animal Kingdom to ride Everest and Flight of Passage.
You really are squeezing them in.
Oh, yeah. And I would get a Night Blossom, the drink from Pandora, because I love them.
Yeah.
And I'm ending my day eating at Tepanido and watching Harmonious. So 4 parks one day.
And she's chose the right fireworks. She's staying at Epcot for the fireworks because they're better than Magic Kingdom fireworks.
Definitely.
Here's a question. Anything you hate about Walt Disney World?
Oh, yes. 2 things, actually. 2 things. Those horrible turkey legs. The smell is enough to turn my stomach. Honestly, I don't know how people do it.
Yeah, not great.
It's tough to be a bug at Animal Kingdom.
Oh, is that because it jabs you in the back?
Yeah, mentally scarred from when I was a kid. 10 years old, and I have never been back on it since.
It is quite terrifying. Yeah, I didn't do it last time either.
Yeah, I just remember screaming and crying.
Yeah, terrible.
Awful.
So they're the 2 things you don't like about Walt Disney World. You didn't mention Genie Plus. So are you a fan of Genie Plus, would you say, now that you've used it?
Oh, I wouldn't say I'm a fan, but I don't hate it.
Did you manage to get on everything you wanted? Because I heard a lot of people, especially at Hollywood Studios, going around, we wanted Slinky Dog and we couldn't get it. Or some people, we got on at 7 o'clock and we got Slinky Dog at 5:30 in the evening. And then by the time you can get your next one, everything else is gone.
Yeah, we managed to get on every single thing we wanted to do. Some of the timings weren't great, but how we did it is it was just me and my mum this time, and we both were on at 7 a.m. together, 2 separate phones, and we found that worked really well.
And which ones did you go for each day? Did you go for like the Slinky Dogs and stuff like that?
Yes, yeah. So went for, your fancy rides or a la carte rides, whatever they're called.
Yeah. The extra $15. Rise of the Resistance is definitely worth it, though, I think, for the $15. Definitely.
Yeah. We had a nightmare with Rise of the Resistance, though, because we got on it and then got evacuated off it because it broke down. Yeah. Because it always does. And then got a lightning lane pass, which was annoying because we'd already paid for one. And then waited right up until park closed because it just wasn't reopening, and eventually it did reopen. We did get on it.
You got on it, and it didn't break down second time.
No. And it's amazing as ever.
It is really good. Have you got any top tips for people who've not been for the last couple of years If people think they know how to do Walt Disney World, what would your advice be now in the new Walt Disney World?
Accept that things are different.
Yeah.
That would be my advice. Accept that things are different. Genie Plus exists. Character meet and greets aren't the same. But remind yourself that what we've been through the past 2 years and things are going to be different everywhere.
Yeah. Pack your patience and enjoy the magic.
Yeah, definitely. Remember why you're there.
Exactly. And you'll be back there before the end of the year. You're going again.
I am going again.
Where are you going to be staying next time?
Staying in All-Star Movies.
Oh, so you're switching up. You pretty much stayed in every resort by the time you finished.
I'm trying.
It's like Walt Disney World Resort bingo. Got to do them all.
Yeah. You've got to have a taste of all of them.
Exactly. Well, enjoy your next trip. And it's been lovely talking to you, Amy.
Thank you. You too.
And have a magical day. Would like to come on the podcast and share some Disney World memories, do get in touch. We're looking for guests now for June onwards. But you can send me a message anyway. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, @PodMagical is where we are. If you're going to Walt Disney World soon, maybe we could get you on when you get back. And if you are going soon, don't forget to tag us in your pictures @PodMagical. We'd love to see that. If you are going, the weather's going to be warm. We're into the 80s now. We're into that humid kind of Florida weather. Crowds are going to be quite busy as well. Expect busy crowds this weekend. If you're going this weekend, we've got one of the Run Disney weekends is happening this weekend. You've still got spring break crowds and Easter crowds as well. So the next few weeks is going to be busy, but then kind of like after Easter Sunday for a few weeks, it should ease off a little bit if you're going just a little bit after that. Do look out for the Easter eggs, by the way. If you're going around the resorts at Walt Disney World, around the hotels, there's some great Easter eggs that have been decorated. And also in Epcot, you've got an Easter egg hunt. There's loads of Easter eggs that are Disney characters. The 2022 Egg Stravaganza Scavenger Hunt is happening at Epcot, of course. It's the Flower and Garden Festival that continues as well. And if you're going over the next few weeks, there's some good live acts that you can see, a part of the Garden Rock series, including the Pointer Sisters next week. You've got members of the Eagles, members of Boston who are going to be on. No live music over at Universal, but their Mardi Gras still continues as well with that brilliant parade they do at night. If you've never seen that and you're going to be there, that's definitely worth doing. I'm going to end the podcast with a top tip. Top tip for this episode is beware of the buses. Do not rely too much on Walt Disney World buses. Yes, they can be great, especially first thing in the morning from your resort to the parks and at the end of the night when the parks are chucking you out and you want to get back. But if it's in the middle of the day, there are less buses than you would expect. I got caught out on my last trip. We had a reservation at 6:00 at Magic Kingdom. We went back in the afternoon for a couple of hours to Animal Kingdom Lodge where we were staying. We waited over an hour for a bus and we were looking at the time on the screen there and another one wasn't due for at least 35 minutes, by which time we would have missed our reservation, so we had to go and cancel it. Thankfully we didn't get charged for the restaurant reservation, but over an hour and a half for a bus during the day, they can be really few and far between, so just beware. Buses, just keep your eye on them. It's different if you're on the Skyliner resorts because they go all the time, the monorail goes all the time and the boats are quite frequent as well, but buses can be a little bit scarce sometimes, so don't rely too much on them. And then of course if you go into Magic Kingdom you think, well, the bus isn't going to come, so we're just going to have to get an Uber, but the Uber is only going to drop you off at the ferry ports. You've got the ferry or the monorail to get over, so that won't give you enough time either. Just beware. If you've got any tips to share, do let me know. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pod Magical is where we are. Make sure you give the podcast a follow as well, because we've got brand new podcasts, new guests, updates on the news, more top tips every other Friday. So make sure you've subscribed so you don't miss a single episode. And if also you could give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, that will be great as well. Just give us 5 stars and a nice review. That helps people find us. If you've done that, thanks. If you've not, if you could, 5 stars, brilliant. Thank you. Until next time, 2 weeks today, please stand clear of the doors.